Okay, on this stream, I'm just going to be doing one component of this. You guys can develop it from there. But I'm just going to populate this topic combo box with the topics that are possible from my database. So what I'm going to first show is I put it just demonstrated in the model here. I just put in demo data, so IT, English, and science. And what you'll see is if I go to the source and I open up my generated code, I can actually just search for science, for example, and then it will show me how it actually generates a new instance of a model, and it then populates it with a string array. So you'll see that it says a new string array, and it's got an integer, and that's got to do with the model. Now I could directly work with the model that exists there and try add to the model and so forth. So if I wanted to go, I would create a method called public void populate list box. You might want to here populate more than this, just this box, because remember in my GUI design I also have my frame add questions, which also has topics, and this is combo topic, and the other one's probably combo game topic. So you'll see that there's two separate combo boxes that I would want to populate, and potentially in the same method you might want to populate some other stuff. But yeah, so I just looked at what I need to populate. And I've sort of come up with a method that's there, and I'm just going to control V this now. It just shows me that I've got a model. So what I could probably do is go public game combo game topic dot get model, and I could probably also just run there and say dot. You'll see there that I can actually remove different items. It doesn't allow me to remove individuals. Maybe it's clear. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. It's giving me hassles, so I'm not even going to. Okay, so I can get selected and stuff like that. So, yeah, but now I'm just going to leave it, and I'm going to just redo it from this. So instead of sending through a new string array of those ones, I want to retrieve an array. So now in my manager class, now I want to load those topics from the database. So if I go and I open up my database, I should actually have this open somewhere close. So if I open up my database. Goodness knows which one I'm actually working with. Synchronization issues are always fun. Anyway, you'll notice that I've got a table called TBL topic, and my topics would be in there. So let me just add some topics in the meantime. So let's just say we have IT as a topic, that's category education, potentially one crossword on music, should be category entertainment. And you could have another category for maths, education, and movies, entertainment. Okay, so you could create it on various different things. So I've got now 4 categories in my database that is there. Now, if I move on from there and I go back in here, now I want to work with that. I'm going to have to look at my tables. So my table is called TBL topic, and topic name and category there. Now, so in my database manager, I want to create a method that would return a string array, because that is what would populate my combo box. Because I just put example data in there and I looked at what it did, and you can see there it says new string array. So it creates a new instance of string array and sends through a string array. So if I can replace this just with the method dot get topics, it will set up the combo box to be those topics. Now, I've not done any fancy coding, I can't remember how to do this. I just kind of looked under the generated coding example that was set out by the GUI generator, and then I can work with it from there. So now I can just say public string array get topics, and then I can literally just create a string of my SQL statement, which would say I would want to select the topic. I don't know if it's a capital T, topic name, okay, from TBL topic. And I don't need to do any filtering. It's a very basic SQL statement. I'm happy with this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create my result set. So we go result set results is equal to db. So I don't even know what my manager is called here, but sman maybe. stman, okay. So stman dot query, and I'm going to send the SQL statement through that. So let me zoom in on that a bit more. So I've created my SQL statement and I've coded that. Now, it's going to throw me that error because I haven't handled the exception. I'm not going to handle the exception. I'm just going to throw it. And now I need to create a string that would work with this. So what I want to do is I want to create a new string array called topics. And you can now go and you can say is equal to a new string. And you can now say results.get. I wonder if there will be a thing that will show me the number of size. Long.integer size .get length. Okay, doesn't look like I can find out exactly the size of this array at the moment. From result, so I can only just do different types of it, so it won't tell me the length of this. So I can't get the size of it here, so I can choose now what I want to do. There's different solutions to this. We don't know the size of this array that we need to be here. So now, because this is your patch, you can choose to just create an array list. Now, an array list is something that you can say of different data types. So in this case, we want our array list to be, let's just call this topics. Okay, topics. New. If I remember correctly, I've got to specify its data type here. I think that's in the curly brackets if I'm correct. And this would be a string array list. I can't remember how to use array list. So I'm kind of learning this as I'm coding this on a live stream. This is why sometimes live streaming sucks, is because if I can't remember something, I've got to try to refigure out. That looks like it's okay. And what we would do then is we could say I might need to also specify the data type here if I remember correctly, but I don't remember. Okay, so now we'll just go while result.next, and we would sit there and we would go a topics add, and we could then say result.get string. One of my other videos mentioned this topics, an array list. An array list works like an array, but it's not specified, so it's like a mixture between an array and a list. You can use it like an array, but it's a list which is unlimited size. You can't use this in a test or an exam in the IEB system, or in the DOE for that matter, but you can use it for your patch. So you can have an array that is now unlimited in size, and that the full length of it would be the length that it's at. So now what I can do is, but I want to return it as an array, not as a array list. So I can say a topics dot to array, and that can convert it into an object array. Now you've got to realize an object array is probably sufficient. So I can go semicolon, and you'll see here it gives me a error because here I'm saying that I'm returning a string array, but there I'm returning a object. So now this method is not giving me any errors. Maybe during runtime it will, because I'm still not 100% sure on the syntax that I did here for the array list. But that's coding for you. You try. If it doesn't work, you fix it. That's quite what I like about coding as well, actually. So now here, instead of going new string array, I can just send through to the box model the sense of objects that I've got. So now for the instance of my manager, so man dot get topics semicolon. So now this is an object array. I'm missing curly brackets, so I'm missing a extra curly bracket here. And dot get topics. Now we've got an unreported exception. So now we need to report the exception. So I go and I look at what the error says. It says that I must report exception. So I go to my little light bulb here, and I can say, hey, light bulb, help me fix this. Surround it with a try catch, and then we'll just log the error. So I'll log it to the programmer with maybe more detail of the error message. And I'll go plus ex.get message. So I'll display the message, and I might also just show the user some message as well. The option pane dot show message dialog. Now, Yeah. So now I'm displaying the error message to the programmer and to the user. You might want to make this different. Incompatible types. Okay, so this is a problem. I was trying to just send it back as a object array, but it doesn't like that because it expects a string array to be put into this. I was worried about that, so we fixed the problem. So this must be a string, and then now this toArray needs to convert it to a string, so it can't be an object array. And I think one of the reasons why, I think I can actually sort of return T array. So now I can say new So it looks like then I can actually send through what type of data I wanted to return, and it will return that. Okay, the syntax was wrong. Array dimension missing. Class expected, semicolon, okay. Okay, let's try to figure this out. Okay, so toArray says T array A returns an array containing all types of elements of this list, proper sequencing from first to last element. The runtime is returned as an array of the specified array. Let's see if there's an example of calling it. Okay, there's not. So maybe let's just literally let me just try this. String square brackets. Class expected. Unexpected type required value found class. Dot class expected unexpected type. Again. Public TT seems realistic from the rule of that. Okay, I can't store this at the moment or pause this. Parameters. The array into which the elements of the list are to be stored, if it is big enough. Otherwise, the new array of the same run type is allowed. Okay, cool. I like it. So what it's asking me to do is it's actually asking me to go and declare a different array. So now string. So I'm going to create a string array, and this is my string array of topics is equal to, and then new string array. And now I can specify this in size, so I can say a topics dot length dot size, yeah, semicolon, and then I can just say s topic in here, and a array dot s topics. So that does, I don't know if this would return. Okay, it does return of that data type, so it would. Okay, so I actually had to create a array of strings of that size that was in here. So basically what I'm doing here, I'm sorry I coded this without explaining it too much because I was trying to figure it out myself, but I created an array list so I can add it to an array which is unlimited size. I then created a string of that same array size of however many topics I added here. So if it was 5, this would be 5. If it was 100, it would be 100. So whatever the size of the topics was here, I created a new string array of that. I then converted my 8 topics. This is just a way of basically copying all the data that's in here, so I could have re-looped through it and added it one by one, but this way I can do it just automatically on there. And this now returns a string array. Now you'll see in my GUI, this populate doesn't give me an error because now it's this m.getTopics is returning a string array, which is what I wanted in the beginning. I will redo this video to show you also to work with lists and things like that. This array lists has made it a little bit more complicated. You can, for example, run a select count, and then you can find out the size of this beforehand. Then you've got the length of it. So you can even create a sub method saying get length of SQL or something. You can get then the size of it, and then create the string immediately and add directly to a string. That's another way of solving this, other than using the array list. There's multiple different ways of solving this problem, but this is the way I quite like doing it. If we now press play. Oh, I haven't run the method, have I? Okay, note to self. So after I've edited my components and I've made an instance of my run manager, I'm going to then go and I'm going to populate this box. So populate this box. So when I populate the list box, I want to press play. And now it should have the lists of items that I've got in there: IT, maths, movies, music. So as you can see, these were the ones that I added in the in the database earlier, so I populated this with that there. Cool, I'm going to put up the code again. I suppose you can pause earlier if you want to, but here's the GUI code, and you'll see in my manager, this is what I've created here. Hope this video helps, just to get another couple of things done. You can do it with listbox, you can do it with whatever you want in your GUI items, you can look at that. But usually speaking, what you would have done if you've added it into the array like we did here, you would create a method to return. So if it's in the array, you wouldn't directly read from the database into the GUI. This is what I did here. I read it directly. I read directly from the database into the GUI. But a lot of the times you'll add it to the array, and then after you've added it to the array, you'll then create a method saying, so for example, public string array get questions, for argument's sake. And then here you wouldn't actually load it from the database. Here you would just go string array temp, or q, is equal to new string array. Now we've got that in the string array of size and num question and answer, semicolon, it's less than num Q&A, and you would just say q position I equals Q&A position I dot get question. So now I'm just loading it from the array into there, and then I would just return Q. So if it's loaded into your array, you would then just return it like this, and that would be the string array, and you would populate it. This method is how to add it directly from the database, but you wouldn't always want to do that, and you shouldn't do that unless it is, for example, like here, it's just topics. It's not going to be, it's not a complex object. It's just a single string. And it's not something I'll be using extensively in the future. Whereas now, for the questions, I would do something like this, and same thing with the answer if I wanted to populate a list or populate something along those lines. Or, for example, I could append it to a single string and return it there.